Dennis, thank you very much for accepting this interview. You have been working since September this year at the Srebrenica Memorial Center as an Austrian volunteer. Your roots are from Bosnia and Herzegovina. So can you tell me a bit about your experience working at the center, at this memorial center, and living here for the last 2 months in Bosnia and Herzegovina? And especially also a bit to touch upon reconciliation. How do you perceive reconciliation in Bosnia?
Yes, thank you for having me. So as you pointed out, the Austrian Service Abroad, together with the Austrian Ministry of Social Affairs, is financing young volunteers like me to go abroad and volunteer in institutions like the Srebrenica Memorial Center, where I have been working since the 1st of September. My experience so far has been very good. I'm born in Vienna, and I used to be the typical diaspora kid who goes down to Bosnia once a year for a week. So having the chance to get back to my roots and live in the country that my parents had to flee during the war is a really fulfilling experience for me on a personal level. And then on a professional base, I label it like that. Working at the Memorial Center is also I'd say an unforgettable experience, because one of the people that work there, I have only the highest opinion of the people there. It's a very professional institution. The projects that they do are high-end, very professional. And also, again, on a personal level, working with people at the Memorial Center, most of them have direct ties to the genocide. They either survived the genocide or lost a majority of their family members during the genocide, and then working with them so closely, being there really on the field, is also just an unforgettable experience for me. And then I'd like to touch upon what you said for reconciliation. Well, we've been discussing this since the last few days here in Sarajevo. The political situation right now is very bad. But as I perceive it, living in Srebrenica, in Republika Srpska, talking to the people there, the society, the civil society, does not mirror the image that the political picture paints. So I'd say this escalation, right, of the political situation is of course very serious, very bad. But looking at the civil society, this really calms me down. And still lets me, as a 19-year-old, hope that reconciliation is going to be possible.
Let's talk a bit about youth activism. You're a young volunteer from Austria. How do you see the importance of youth activism in this region for its development in the future and its development toward the European Union? How do you see the role of the young people in Bosnia and Herzegovina when it comes to the future of this country?
Well, the role of the young people in Bosnia and Herzegovina is going to be essential for this country to work right in the future. But also, me being from the diaspora, I think utilizing the diaspora and kind of motivating them to come back, I'd say back to Bosnia and Herzegovina to volunteer or do some kind of work, is also going to be crucial.
To touch upon the future of Bosnia, where do you see the country? Especially considering now this crisis and political crisis, what is happening in the northern part of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and with the president of, one of the president of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Milorad Dodik, tending to this nationalistic rhetoric when he's speaking about politics. So where do you see the future of Bosnia? Can we expect some new leaders, more open leaders, more democratic leaders, more liberal leaders who will not touch upon ethnical segregation and not choose those ethnical issues, but maybe choose issues which really struck the people in Bosnia and Herzegovina? For example, the green politics, the climate politics, the economy, the unemployment rate. So what do you think about this?
So, I'm not putting myself in a situation where I say I can judge on what it will look like. All I can say is that I can only hope that I will not have to raise my children and tell them about the second Bosnian War, just like my parents raised me and told me about the Bosnian War. And from the bigger picture that I have received so far in the last 2 months, I think that the young professionals in Bosnia and Herzegovina and also the people from the diaspora that are still trying to engage in the country are the future. They're essential for it to be a working democratic country, a democratic state, and that's just all I can hope for.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.